This has gone on long enough, and it involves the worst fucking girl that we've ever met. The only girl that I'm really not afraid to just go after in full force, because to me, this isn't even a girl. And this person that I'm talking about is Chrissie Mayr from Compound Media. And many of you know that one of our big things with Chrissie Mayr, maybe pull up a picture of her. I always like to have a picture just in case some guys are new. She's terrible. I mean, terrible in every which way. She was a shitty F-tier comedian that got scooped up by Compound Media like 4 or 5 years back. She was just a regular nobody. And then she figured out the grift of the alt-right meanie person online that everybody does when they're failed. So what happens is, like most of the people who have switched their comedy stuff over to this political stuff, and a lot of it is happening on the right, and it's super embarrassing. You know, and I always talk about the right because comedians didn't turn into leftists for the most. Well, some of them did, but not the comedians we were ever involved with. You know, so I rag on these people because I'm involved with them. You know, I worked for Compound Media, believe it or not, before they realized that when you lose in comedy, what you should do is just pander to all those fucking idiots who just want to hear you repeat the fucking talking points from your team all day and then collect donations of you. Again, it's another organizer. It's the beige frequency syndrome. It's, okay, I'm Chrissie Mayr. Instead of having any of my own thoughts, I'm just going to collect all the talking points that people already like and then just like rehash them, reorganize them, and then just collect money for doing it. That's such a bullshit job in any form. And
isn't it so much more pathetic for a girl to be doing it for some reason? Why
to me, it's pathetic because like I know these aren't her own thoughts. You know, these are the thoughts, and I see a lot of people turning to the right because they've been pushed aside by society. They have been looked at as less than. It's like black people joining gangs. I mean, it's the same nonsense. It's you've been pushed aside by society. You feel you can't compete. And you're just going to join the mean side and fight back. And, you know, would Chrissie Mayr be able to just have a comedy career if it didn't have anything to do with politics? If she didn't start pandering to the craziest guys, would there be any career for her? And people realize right away, this is a lucrative industry. You don't have to be good. We all see it. You don't have to be good. You just have to fucking sit there and repeat the things that they say over and over again, by the way, for 5 years, and they're going to give you money. So Chrissie Mayr wasn't making a dime with her own thoughts or own material. She started making dimes when she started going, you know what I hate? Liberal tears. Woo, I know that. Easy, here's money. Because everybody at home also wants somebody to tell them what they think so that they don't feel like they've made the wrong choice. So when you're fighting, and here's the big problem with fighting with 50% of the country, you should never do it. It's a fool's move. Even if you're right, it's a fool's move on both sides to fight with 50% of people. That's too many people. You're not going to win. All you could do is join sides and find protection in your side. It's lame. It's pathetic. It's weak. And that's what Chrissie Mayr's done. That's what Crowder has done. That's what Tim Pool's done. Joe Rogan leaned into that very heavily. Even Andrew Schultz is doing that. We'll show you later today. They all do it because it's a quick dollar and it's a quick way to get people on your side no matter what. And they will fight for you because they need a team member too. You know, and I'll never forget what Gavin said to me. And this was early on. This was before all of this really went haywire. This was before the Proud Boys. When Gavin, you know, I had my show on Compound Media and I was making fun of some conservative guy who was like a free speecher and made fun of the left. And I made fun of him. And Gavin was blown away by this. He goes, so like, I get what you're saying, but he's on our side. And I said, excuse me? Our side? What side would that be? And He even felt kind of stupid. I said this to him. I said, no, there's no such. And he even felt kind of stupid about that. But that's what people are doing. And we all see it. It's clear as day. I'm not saying anything new, but we do need to...
Lewis even just said that. Louis
Yes.
Gomez.
There's no teams. There's no sides. And if you're running over to one side, all it means is you feel scared. You feel out in the open, and you feel scared, and you need this whole team to protect you. If there was 50% of the country started agreeing with my talking points, I would get new ones. You know what I mean? I don't want... If 50% of the country agrees with you, you're doing something completely wrong. That's too many people. So Chrissie Mayr is the new panderer to the right, which is a shameful thing to be. I mean, Revenge of the Sis, all these shows, really, the only reason they exist is because they tell these people who are so desperately worried that maybe they're making a mistake, they're reassuring them. And that's all this is a gay reassurance hug that you watch, because you know the guys who host these shows stink, and you know they're not saying anything new. And it would be one thing if Gavin and Kumi and Mersh and all the rest of them, or Alex Jones even, said something fucking new. But can't you see it's a fucking hoax when all they do is repeat the stuff that they know you get a rise out day in and day out.
And aren't you going to get sick of hearing the same shit
already? And I know you're sick of it. Like Mersh and Royce from Revenge of the Sis were on Alex Jones, and they posted it on their IG. There was like 15 comments, none of which were too exciting. I mean, they definitely didn't have any sort of like if I was on Alex Jones, boom. So these guys are on Alex Jones, and they're not saying anything exciting. Alex ain't saying anything exciting. They're fucking repeating over and over again the same bull, and the fans know it, but they can't say anything bad about it because then maybe they're a liberal or they're not on the side anymore. They're not on the team anymore. So they don't want to say how lousy it is, because then the host would use that against them. They would go, oh, yeah, well, probably because you don't agree with his ideas. You're a lib.
And they just get more and more, like, guaranteed Josh Denny is an anti-abortion
Josh Denny's another perfect
activist
example.
now,
yes.
just because
he's had 2 abortions within the last 7 years, by the way.
He needed something more. Like, he didn't bring up abortion before, but then when he ran out of the other repetitions about the libs, suddenly he's like, I need a bigger one.
Because they see the pop... right, that they get from these psychos,
and you know he doesn't like believe this stuff. What he's saying.
But and these people will not be around for you, and they know this. So you put yourself in your own pathetic prison where, if you don't pander to them and give them what they want, they'll fucking turn on you and eat you alive in a second. They're only here to hear you reassure them about the topics they already agree on, and that's that. And it's, to me, the gayest fucking thing you could do. And Chrissie Mayr is one of the leaders of that, and that's where she's finding success. And I opened this segment by saying, I need your help. Something must be done. Because Chrissie Mayr is going around telling people that I have made up a story. We all remember the infamous Chrissie steals Christmas presents story. Now, this is where I need your help, because I cannot play this video one more time. I have covered this video 17 times on the show, and she's still getting away with telling people that this never happened. It is just like Josh Denny, and I call upon you to not let this happen. Everything we have said about these guys on this show is 100% true or 100% a prediction that I am making. None of it is made up. I want everyone to know that. When we cover Josh Denny, we're not making anything up. Mostly we're covering what he is saying and going, wow. And what will happen is Josh Denny, Chrissie Mayr, Anthony Cumia, they will do something horrendous. I will show that to the world. And then people will talk about that. And then years later, someone will go to Cumia. Hey, Cumia, I heard something about 13-year-old girls that, on Redbar. Oh, that guy. Yeah. He's, just, and they'll tell them in more or less words that I'm lying. Josh Denny does it all the time. He tells people straight up that I am lying. And the latest person to do this is Chrissie Mayr. And I've got a clip here. And everyone knows that I'm not lying. Because I didn't come up with this story. She did. She came on, and we're going to go over this in a second. She came on Compound Media before she knew she was going to be covered every time on Redbar when she said something horrendous like this. And she told a story about how they were at a Christmas party for Compound Media, and they went out to a fancy Italian restaurant for a Christmas party, and it was open to the public. And there was a table next to them of another 10 people with their family. And it was a fancy restaurant. And while the family was, saying goodbye to each other, at the end of the night, while everyone was saying goodbye to each other, Chrissie Mayr saw that there was a bag full of expensive presents sitting on the table beside her that somebody had just gotten from like their grandparents. Like some guy got a bunch of expensive clothes, like $400 worth of clothes from his grandpa at this fancy restaurant for Christmas. They get up, they're gallivanting, they're doing their thing, they're saying their goodbyes. She decides to, while she's walking out, take the bag of presents and skedaddle out. And then she told the whole story on the show. She bragged about how she sold the clothes, how valuable they were.
To someone else.
She gave them as a gift.
But she did brag about how expensive they were.
Bragged about how expensive. So she told this story that we have on tape that we've showed many times. I'm not going to show it again today because we're going to be making the definitive video for proof video. And this is what I ask of you today. We got to make a thread in the Bring Back group. We're making an easy to digest video, and I want to bring on editors. This requires more skill level than I assume. I want a perfectly easy to understand 4 to 5 minute video that shows how she stole the presents, admitted to stealing the presents, talked about all those presents. There was no joke. It was never a joke. Then I want to show a bit of my coverage, and then I want to show all these little clips of her telling people that I made this story up. Because I can't really have people going around saying I'm making things up, and then the other person going, oh, okay.
It's bad for business.
It's bad for business. And I need your help, and we cannot let these guys, especially criminals like this that we've shown for year after year doing all this fucked up stuff, to just have them go, oh, yeah, watch this clip that she did here. And this is going to make you mad because all of you know, all of you have seen all the shit I've played on Chrissie Mayr. It's all fucking real. And I'm going to show you this clip. It's going to make you so mad. What time code is this at? Or is it queued up, or is it a clip, like an embedded clip?
The clip is in the BBG.
Yeah, I know. I went to it, and it leads me to a YouTube clip.
It's in the comments, sorry.
Oh, great. Okay, so we'll go there, and is this it?
Yeah.
Jules David, okay. Let's see what this is, and then I've got to slide this over. Here we go, and this is what they caught her saying, and thank you guys for watching this shit, because she thinks that we don't watch this. She's on a podcast with thousands of people, saying that all the stuff that I tell people about her is just made up. And watch this. This is horrendous.
Hermit. You're saying like not to do...
Yeah.
Wait.
I actually have watched a few hours of Kermit and Friends.
How many hours have you watched, Natalie?
A video from YouTube that you clicked before.
Which video? This? Oh, my God. That was like scaring the living crap out of me. Okay, that is off. Now, look what Chrissie Mayr does. And I've caught her doing this at least 4 times when people bring up the Christmas stealing presents thing. And look what she does. This is going to make you fucking mad. And we're fighting back.
I've been on the Ding Dong show before, so yeah.
Okay. Oh, Redbar. That's the guy who made the fan fiction about my clothing story.
Well, so
Redbar. That's the guy that made the fan fiction about my clothing story. No. And then put this in there, put this whole clip in this video that we're making to show. And I plead with you people, she is outright lying to you. Here is the proof. It's all in this video. So you're going to sit there and like believe a liar because you're on her show and it's just easier to believe it. You know, we see this with Josh Denny a million times where we'll all be in his chat telling the guest or the other host of a show he's on, when he's on a guest on a podcast, we're telling him about all his lies, and Josh will tell the guy, oh, they're just making it up. I will not have my work slandered in this manner. I've worked for too many years exposing your crimes. You can't just say I've simply made it up. And these are the two people who always talk about suing for slander as well. And they outright, I mean, Josh Denny today called me a pedophile. On Twitter, Josh Denny, in writing, called me a pedophile. Now, we all know if I'm a pedophile or not. And he is outright using this and telling people, along with everything I've ever said about him, is a lie. Not understanding that everything I've ever said about him is stuff he's given me or has been given to me by other people. We're not making up a story. We're showing you what happened. So we need a video of Chrissie admitting to stealing the Christmas presents. We need all these little tapes put together, like, let's put this together finally. And every time she tells a host, because you're in her chat when this has happened, every time she tells a host, please, if you have the 4 minutes, please watch this video. It will explain everything. It's very easy to read. Will they even believe it then, or will they still pretend that, oh, yeah, it's trolls, because you don't want to be put in the situation to start hating her when you should? I mean, all of these people, and all they do is sit around talking about truth, justice, and exposing no gooders and how people are corrupt. You're corrupt. You're the liars, and your fan base should hate you, and you should hate her, and you should hate her. But you pretend. It's like Kumia following all the 13-year-old girls on Instagram when all of you are pedo hunters. You've got one right here, but you don't want to, oh, that's not part of your plan, is it? You want to pedo hunt when it's easy. You don't want to go after your boss or your best friend, right? When they're a pedo, that's what it takes. It's very easy to sit there and parrot, oh, Jeremy Epstein is such a bad guy. No, duh. Do it to your boss. Make it local. You have the power. You're sitting right there. You want to pedo bust the boss. I shouldn't have to do all this pedo busting to you. I'm not into pedo busting. So I'm livid with the lying, and it must stop. So we need a plan.
Such a bad feeling when you see someone just straight up lie.
Yes. And it needs to stop, and we need to, like, do something about it. Like, she must pay. Denny must pay. Like, it's time. We must come up with a plan, and we're smart enough.
By pay,
we've got enough people.
We need them to come in and go, I was lying.
Yes,
Mike was right.
Yes.
We won't stop until you admit
So we need to come up with a plan, and we've got plenty of people here. Go to the Bring Back group or join if you haven't. It's Scars Club only, redbarradio.net/BBG. Let's put our minds together. These two, we need to put a stop to them, and we need a plan, because exposing them doesn't work. They just tell people we're lying. So we need definitive. We got to put our heads together, and that's the beauty of life. All you got to do when you want something done is think about it. Really. Just think about it and spend some time thinking about it. And eventually, boom, you create something that happens. That's all it takes. So we can do this. We need some patience. We need some time. But it must happen. Think about Josh laughing it up on that keyboard. Think about Chrissie saying that, not able to look up at the camera when she says it because she knows it's a flat-out fucking lie.
Right down at her feeties.
Right down at those big, fat, freckled feet that I want in cuffs. Do you understand me? By the way, I have a question to all the gun guys. If I hold someone at gunpoint, can I also cuff them? Can you cuff them to a pipe? What are the rules? Can I cuff people? Can I make half arrests? How long? So if you have someone at gunpoint, hey, officer, sorry to bother you. I have someone at gunpoint. What do you do the whole time? Do you wait there for 30 minutes while the cops come? Yeah, he's still at gunpoint. Or can I cuff the guy and get on with my fucking life? I don't have time to sit there all day like this. He could kick the gun out of my hand. Can I cuff people? And then I want to start wearing cuffs, a walkie-talkie, all the cop stuff. I'm just a cop now. Okay. We've got much more to do, but put your heads together. I need help here. We must take these two down. These two redheads, by the way. These two redheads. These deadheads.
I want to hear from both of their mouths. I lied. Mike was right. I lied. Mike was right.
Yeah.
All these gift bags, presents.
Here, and what do we have here?
I just added the clip that you said you didn't want to show up, but you can't.
Well, I do want to show it. I didn't know we had this. Let's see.
There was a bag on one of the tables.
Oh, so this is her telling the original story, just to show you real quick, but I want the full tape. None of this janky editing, by the way. Like, I yelled at Jules this one because she's like, yeah, just, maybe one of the clippers. But no, this must be like, this video, I wanted to be like, when you hand people, it's like fucking handing them money. Like, this video needs to be so easy and well thought out to put a stop to her. Can't just be like janky ass clips. So that's what I mean. We're showing you some of this stuff now, but we got to put our heads together and do this right. So this was me showing her on In Hot Water, telling the original story. It was never a joke. This is what these people do too. They tell horrible stories because they have no gauge on what's right or wrong. So they do horrible things and say horrible things, and they don't know it's wrong until I call them out usually. And then what they'll do is they'll go, I was joking. You weren't. I know who's joking.
But we also
not.
know for sure she wasn't joking because Bill Schultz told the story separately on his own episode on the same day.
And that's what we need to put in the video. So remember this. Bill Schultz told the story independently on his show on the same network about how Chrissie stole these gifts. And it wasn't. And then Chrissie told her story after that. It's not a joke. The whole network was talking about it. And here's her talking about it.
Table, and there were all these
We must take her down.
Presents.
There was a bag on one of the tables.
Right.
And it was like...
Wait, like a shopping bag, a purse?
Bag.
Go on.
Shopping bag. And I'm looking at it. I'm watching a lot of people leave. I'm kind of lingering around. Everybody's getting...
Because you want to steal this bag.
Well, I'm going, there's probably nice clothes in that bag. And I'm just like sort of hanging around. I'm standing around.
Just a typical joke, right? And then it's like, so what you're saying is, let's pretend it is a joke, just like Brad Williams. It's a joke, right? So your jokes are just like kind of boring lie stories that make you look awful? What kind of a joke is that? What kind of a joke is a 10-minute story about how you stole someone's presents with no punchlines or jokes?
And listen to the way she explains how she did it. She's an experienced thief. She does this daily.
And the lies don't stop. And again, if the alt-right is, and I call any conservative as alt-right to me. If you're conservative, I call you alt-right. She's alt-right. They're all alt-right.
Now, it would be one thing if some scumbag was just like telling this story on the side of the road, being like, I stole some guy's presents.
Yeah.
But this girl is on Twitter every day acting like she's the moral queen of America.
That's what I mean. So if you're one of these conservatives who's all business every day, then you can't be with this liar thief who's stealing.
The law if you love cops so
She's
much.
allowing an alleged pedophile, her boss, Anthony Cumia, has done so much stuff to allude to the fact that he probably does pedophilic stuff, and she's a pedophile crusader. She's protecting him. She makes excuses for him. So everything she does should be against the agenda of the very people that invite her on the show. Don't be mad at me because she lied to you. Be mad at her with me. Get it? Watch this. This. Or this. Or that. Here.
There's probably nice clothes in that bag. And I'm just like sort of hanging around. I'm standing around. And I was sitting next to Larry. And he was like, just take it. I was like, I'm just going to take it. So I took it and I walked out with it.
And she took them while the couples weren't looking and took them home. $400 worth of somebody else's Christmas present she stole. She was bragging about it. I got $400 worth of free sweaters.
And
it goes on, and then we got the Bill Schultz. So that's why it can't be this clip. It can't be this bullshit clip because they're not going to watch this. So we got to, again, make something beautiful that her buddies, that everyone she knows is going to want to click, and they can't turn it off. That's the goal. They put it on, and they don't want to watch it, but by the end, they believe. That is our mission, okay? Isn't it fun to have a mission? You can come